Of all the places the royal drama could land, nobody expected Australia. Nobody expected a wildlife encounter. And absolutely nobody expected Robert Irwin, son of the legendary Steve Irwin, beloved by millions across the world, to become the latest, most unexpected symbol of the divide inside the royal family. But here we are, and what happened in front of cameras on Australian soil, in a moment that the internet has not stopped talking about, tells a story that goes far beyond a kangaroo and a photo opportunity. It tells the story of two very different versions of what royalty means in 2025, and which one the world is choosing. Let me give you the full picture. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, Harry's wife, the woman who walked away from the British royal family in 2020, and has been building her own public platform ever since, arrived in Australia as part of a high-profile public appearance. Australia has always had a complicated relationship with the royal family. It is a Commonwealth nation, one with deep historical ties to the British Crown, and an equally deep, increasingly vocal conversation about what those ties actually mean and whether they should continue. It is also a country that loved Diana fiercely, in the particular way that Australia loves people who seem genuine and unafraid, who break protocol and sit on floors and talk to ordinary people like they matter. Meghan understands that energy. She has worked consciously and effectively to position herself in that tradition, the warmth, the accessibility, the refusal to be contained by protocol. And Australia, for the most part, has been receptive. Until the Kangaroo Drama, Robert Irwin is not a political figure. He is minus by the standards of the celebrity. The world he inhabits, remarkably consistent in what he stands for: wildlife conservation, his father's legacy, the Australia Zoo that his family has built into one of the most respected wildlife institutions in the world. He is warm, he is genuine, he has his father's gift for making the camera feel like a conversation between friends. And he is, importantly, a royalist, not in the stuffy, ceremonial sense, in the human sense. Robert Irwin admires William and Catherine. He has been photographed with them. He has spoken warmly about their commitment to conservation causes, causes that his own family has dedicated their lives to. The connection between Robert Irwin and the Prince and Princess of Wales is not manufactured for press purposes. It is genuine, based on shared values, the kind of connection that forms between people who are both, in their different ways, trying to use the platform for something real. And when Meghan's Australian visit brought her into the orbit of the Irwin family's world, the response was not what the Duchess or her team had anticipated. Let me tell you what actually happened, because the details, as always, are more revealing than the headline. During Meghan's visit, a wildlife encounter was arranged, the kind of photogenic, feel-good moment that public figures use to generate warmth and connection. An Australian icon, a beloved animal. The imagery practically writes itself, except it didn't go the way it was planned. The kangaroo demonstrating the particular indifference to human agenda that makes animals so reliably honest, did not cooperate. What followed was captured on camera, a moment of physical awkwardness, of the kind of unscripted reality that no PR team can fully contain. Meghan's reaction, her response, in that unguarded moment, generated a response online that was swift, widespread and, for the Duchess's supporters, deeply uncomfortable. The internet, particularly the section of it that follows royal commentary, contrasted the footage with the effortless ease that Catherine has consistently shown in similar situations, the warmth that William demonstrated on his own Australian tours, the natural comfort with animals and with unscripted moments that has always characterized the Prince and Princess of Wales. The comparison was not flattering to Meghan and Robert Irwin, who had been present or adjacent to the situation, made his feelings known. What Robert Irwin did was not dramatic, in the way of a formal statement or a press release or a carefully worded condemnation. It was something more powerful than that, in the particular language of social media, where what you choose to amplify, what you choose to associate yourself with, what you signal through your choices, about who you stand beside. Robert Irwin made his position clear. He aligned himself with William and Catherine, not for the first time, but in this context, immediately following the footage of Meghan's kangaroo encounter. and the wave of commentary it had generated. The timing was unmistakable. The Irwin family's connection to William and Catherine rooted in genuine shared values around conservation, around authentic public engagement, around the kind of royal presence that actually does something meaningful in the world, was placed, visibly and publicly, in contrast to what the footage of Meghan but had shown, not cruelly. Robert Irwin is not a cruel person, but clearly, and in the royal world, where everything is read, everything is interpreted, where the absence of a word can say as much as its presence clearly is more than enough. I want to step back from the immediate story for a moment, because the kangaroo is not really the story. The kangaroo is the occasion for the story. The real story is about something that has been developing for years, slowly, persistently, in the way that cultural shifts always develop before they suddenly become undeniable. The real story is about authenticity, about the difference between performing warmth and having it, between constructing a public image and living one. William and Catherine, for all the criticism they have faced, for all the moments they have navigated badly, or been too formal, or too distant, have something that is very difficult to fake: consistency. They show up the same way in public and in private. The warmth you see at a public engagement is, by the accounts of those who know them, the warmth that exists when the cameras are gone. The connection to causes like conservation. The Irwin family's life's work is genuine because it is sustained, not activated for a press tour, not deployed when the optics require it. There when nobody is watching. Meghan has extraordinary gifts. She is charismatic, intelligent, capable of genuine warmth and genuine connection. But in Australia, in front of a camera, with an uncooperative kangaroo, the gap between the image she projects and the reality of an unscripted moment became visible. And Robert Irwin, who has spent his entire life in unscripted moments with animals that do not cooperate, noticed. There is a Diana dimension to this story that I do not want to pass over, because Diana, who is present in everything we discuss on this channel, is present here too. Diana visited Australia in 1983. It was, by many accounts, the tour that made her, that transformed her from the shy, slightly overwhelmed girl who had married a prince into the people's princess the world would love for the rest of her life, and decades beyond it. Australia adored Diana in the way it adores people who are genuinely, uncomplicatedly, authentically themselves, who don't perform warmth, who have it, who don't manage accessibility, who live it. Catherine's Australian tours have generated similar responses, the same genuine warmth, the same ease, the same quality of being present, in a way that makes the person you're talking to feel like they matter. Diana's ring on Catherine's finger is the visible symbol of a connection, but the Australia tours, and the contrast they create with what happened this week, suggest the connection goes deeper than a ring. It goes to something in how Catherine approaches her role, how William does, the way Diana always believed it should be done, with real people, in real moments, even when the kangaroo doesn't cooperate. Here's what I think when I sit with this story. It would be easy to make this simple. Meghan fails, William and Catherine win, the royal family's preferred narrative confirmed. But I don't think it is that simple. And I don't think Diana would have thought so either. Meghan is a woman who left an institution that, as Northwire has documented in considerable detail, treated her in ways that were genuinely unjust. Who has been building something on the other side of that experience, who has real gifts and real warmth, and real things to offer the world. The kangaroo moment was awkward. Robert Irwin's alignment with William and Catherine was unmistakable. But the larger story, the story of what authenticity means, of what genuine public service looks like, of the difference between performing a role and living it, is not settled by a single moment with an uncooperative animal in Australia. What it does do is remind us, and perhaps remind Meghan's team, that in the age of cameras everywhere, and internet commentary that never sleeps, the only thing that holds up under every light, in every unscripted moment, in every country, on every tour, is the real thing. William has it, Catherine has it, they learned it from Diana. And the world, including Robert Irwin, including Australia, including everyone who watched the footage and felt the comparison arrive before they had even consciously made it, knows the difference. Drop a comment. Do you think this changes anything for Meghan's public image? Or is the kangaroo moment just a moment? I want to hear from you. New video tomorrow. Same time. See you then. This is Northwire. The Crown has secrets. We uncover them every single day. See you tomorrow.